All right, greetings everyone. Come to do another video with y'all, right? And man, I really don't know where to start. I really don't. Listen, man. Let me get this off my chest right here, right? I don't know what Saneter and the House of Consciousness think he's doing, but when he goes out here and attacks other aspects of what they call today consciousness, you got to ask him, man, when you're in that chat or whatever, and when you're in that live stream, what is your intention? What are you trying to do? What is your motivation by coming at everybody? He's saying he's for black people, black power, but everything that's related to black power, he's tearing down. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Everything related to black consciousness, he's attacking. Other than talking about Kemet. It don't make sense. What did the black church do? The black church, what? Fought for civil rights. If you think that you didn't need civil rights in this country, you a fool. How you think you're able to get the job that you got now? Baby, go and eat where you want to eat at now. Go to hotels that you want to go to now. How you think you got those rights? It was through the church. Listen, family, listen. What is his agenda? We're supposed to be trying to be unified. Supposed to have like a council of these different groups to push us, our agenda forward for ourselves and for our children. Not attack each other and try to dismantle each other's belief system. People are trying to unify. The information is to unify us. What are they doing over there in Harlem and New York, man? That shit is crazy. What did the More Science Temple do, right? With this founder, Noble Drew Ali. Because Morocco was the first country and one of the most powerful countries at the time. They acknowledged the United States as an independent country, separate from, Europe, Great Britain, England or whatever, right? So, United States and Morocco have a treaty. So what Noble Drew Ali attempt was is to get us under that treaty, the Treaty of Peace. Okay, and he built a system around that. And I think that More Science Temple is a little bit older than the nation, but out of that came the Nation of Islam. What did Nation of Islam do? Taught you to have pride in yourself as a black man and a black woman. Told you was God. Told you was the creator of all civilizations. And they trying to crap on that and poke holes in it and stuff like that. And bring up all the, little differences and inconsistencies and everything. You gonna have that in anything, 'cause people are fallible. There's no one that's perfect. Not me, not you, not them. And what did the nation teach us? To try to be what? Independent of our oppressors. To give us pride during the time we were oppressed. We were told we was niggas and we was nothing. That's what the nation did. The nation did what? Taught us to be business owners. Taught us to be business owners. To own our own, separate ourselves. Not to be dependent. Not to be dependent upon the welfare state. To create your own. To organize. He's the first one before all of them. He touched on spirituality. He touched on business. Talking about Elijah Muhammad. He touched on business. And he touched on how to eat properly, to have a good diet. For any of them start talking to whole list of people, he was on it. Now, how to eat, live, that's not right, that's not right, whatever. He put forth the foundation for us to build upon. What is he talking about? You know, they looking messy over there. That's not consciousness, as what they call it today. Now, I always grew up saying being righteous. That's what I was taught, to be righteous, to be a righteous black man. This consciousness is a new age term or whatever, right, that they own. But that's what the nation did. Spirituality, Islam. Separate yourself, to be independent, own your own businesses. Come on, family. How to eat properly. To get away from pork. It's things the things that will hurt you and kill you and bring your blood pressure up and your cholesterol. That's what he gave us. He gave us the foundation for that. Now, where's Kemet in all this? Where they at? The Kemet people. What you gonna say? They weren't there, was they? Right? That's not correct. You know, two of the most known well people, Dr. Clark and Dr. Ben Jocannon and those people that fell underneath them or whatever, or were part of that movement, they were in academia, taking on the scholars and the powers that be in the ivory towers, destroying the myth and lore that people from Northern Africa were Caucasian, all the pharaohs and Egyptians were Caucasians, these Middle Eastern kind of people. Destroying the fallacies and the myth or whatever, that West Africa was like a jungle and savage and stuff like that. These people had their own belief systems, their own structures and stuff like that, their own way of building civilizations and having culture. They came to destroy the myth of academia. The only thing we did was run around naked and stuff like that in the forest with no clothes on. That was their job. They were taking them on. Because the information is skewed. Numbers lie. Numbers can be changed to reflect whatever you want them to reflect. So what are they doing over there, man? They going to each other records and, trying to expose each other and tear each other down. The only thing they're doing is tearing down the one place where black people were trying to go that they thought it was real. Islam is foreign to a lot of people here in America today with black people now, in this generation. They feel like the church is failed, but the church is all about money. So what, everybody running the Kemet, running the consciousness, running the, being holistic. And they're failing them. They're failing y'all. Y'all are tuning in just to watch the train wreck. What is wrong with them? That ain't being righteous. How you gonna say you a staple, a pillar in the conscious community, and you use the word nigga more than niggas do? Niggas talking about like the rappers and street people. That thing rolled off your tongue like, hey, it's second nature. Like you got two personalities, Saneter and Frankie. And Frankie's the dominant personality. Now you attacking Islam, what I believe in. My belief system. And Islam is a belief system. It's a system of faith. So no, you can't hold up Islam against history. Those are two different lanes. And a lot of history come out of belief systems. And people are researching to try to validate whether these historical facts are true or not. People tell you about 500 billion years ago and 10,000 years ago. Well, we can't even prove for sure what happened 2,000 years ago. People explain to you how the earth was formed and how life began and the dinosaurs were here or whatever. And we take all this stuff and run with it. And they run with it. And it's all conjecture. People tell you, right, to pray to your ancestors. But don't pray to God, who's created all things, right? Listen, The ancestors couldn't save themselves. So what makes you think they're going to save you? Your ancestors are to be venerated, to be respected, because they came before you. You are their progeny. I'm the real deal, fam. I'm the real deal. And I ain't perfect. But I'll never get up here and be as messy as they are. Messy. And y'all are tuning in for the mess. He attacking the Hebrew Israelites. And hey man, I done dealt with some of them brothers, whatever. Some of them been good brothers, whatever. We have had intellectual conversations. Not that Captain Tazariot kind of Hebrew Israelites and stuff you see on them putting on YouTube. That's craziness. You tell me what's the difference between Captain Tazariot's form of being a Hebrew Israelite and what he claimed the white man is. I don't mess with Africans. I ain't gonna feed Africans. Him and the white man got something in common. Now I'm not saying that all white people are like that, but we know what the history is. How are you different? You say Captain Tazariot, you say that he's the devil. But you acting like a devil. So you the devil too. Because you are trying to fight and disassociate yourself based off of race and ethnicity. That's what they were doing at the start of slavery and Jim Crow and black codes and things of that nature. And you got to give credit, they come a long way from that. Because if they didn't, we would still be in bondage. Come on, man. Fam, I'm the real deal, family. Let me tell you, I'm the real deal. You know. Look here. Right? When I tell you I'm the real deal, I'm the real deal. When I say I'm the real deal, mean my word is my bond. You know what I'm saying? And my word should never fail. See this? Right? I'm showing y'all some things I got, right? Here we go. See? That's my book for my graduation from Historical Black University. I went to school. I'm not trying to phone on nobody, but you know, hey, when you actually go into a classroom setting, whatever, at a institution, you know, it's different from doing online. See, honors. Let's see. I ain't just up here just talking. See that? I have a degree. Let me see. See? I have a degree. See? See that? That's Alpha Kappa Delta Sociology Honor Society. Not part of a frat. It's just an honor club that I belong to. Right? Now, with this here, my father did it. I did it because I was following him, because my father, I love him very much, right? But our process was still different. So I'm not bound by the same things that they're bound by. I'm just being honest. I'm not affiliated with it any longer, right? Here we go. Real deal, family. I just kept it as a souvenir. And one thing that you know, when dealing with the bus, whatever, you show them your car, whatever, they be like, they want to look at it. They want to see, you know what I'm saying, if, you know, you're still active. And then what they do, they rub it. Because there's supposed to be a stamp on it. See what I'm saying? You know, not stamp, but you know, come with the engraver or whatever, right? So you can feel the, you know, the stamp from the lodge or whatever, right? I can't think of the proper word for it right now, right? But my process was still different. You know, and just showing you some things, family. You know what I'm saying? About my journey in life. See what I'm saying? Let's see what else I got here. See that? Yeah. Saw that right. All right. Let's see what else we got. My father taught by a brother from New York, right, named Peter. And what he did was he had, like, you know what I'm saying, student enrollment, all the lessons, science of the pyramids. He had all these writings, whatever, right, which he shared with my father, but he would never let my father hold the books. He had to copy everything. My father spent time writing all this material down in these books, and some copies he had or whatever, right? And a lot of it I lost in a flood a few years back and stuff like that, right? But the things that I still have, I hold dear to me, because these are like, little trinkets and tokens of my memory of him and stuff like that. The things that he taught me, see? This here is older than most of them who've been in the so-called conscious community. Okay. I'm a Muslim family, but you don't see me up here attacking Christians. You don't see me up here attacking Jewish people. You don't see me up here attacking the dudes who, do the comedic thing or whatever. Or you're going to do something that's really outside your culture, which is talking about, chakras and stuff like that. That is not part of our culture. You know what I mean? But if you want to be embraced of that, then that's your thing. Look at all these old writings and stuff like that, right? These things, these pages here, right, are as old as me. Let's see. Let's read this one here, right? This is called "Regulating the Poor." Since the early 16th century, let's see here. Many governments have come to make precision for the care of the destitute, often known as poor relief. In the United States, such provisions are so-called public assistance. Where everybody, a lot of public assistance and stuff like that, right? So I'm saying, when you're a minority, meaning the smaller part of, child-like, whatever, right? You need to be on public assistance, right? You become you are in the custody of the state. You are a ward of the state. That's why they take care of you. That's really what's going on, right? Let's see here. The purpose of this, or public welfare. The purpose of this chapter is to suggest why relief arrangements are established and why they persist. Relief arrangements are auxiliary to economic arrangement. Their chief functions, meaning governments, is to regulate labor, and they do that in two ways. First, unemployment leads to outbreaks of turmoil. Relief programs are ordinarily initiated or expanded to absorb and curb enough of the unemployment to restore order. Then as balance is established and riots subside, the relief system contracts, expelling those who are needed to populate the labor market. Relief also performs labor regulating functions in this shrunken state. However, some of the aged, the disabled, the insane, and others who are of no use to workers are left on the relief rolls, and their treatment is so degrading and punitive as to instill in the laboring masses a fear of the fate that awaits. You ever see like how poor people walk around and talk to themselves and in wheelchairs trying to get around and stuff like that, and you like, man, I don't want that same fate? That's what they're talking about. What they're saying is that, when poor people get upset, they expand relief programs and welfare programs, whatever, to calm everybody down. They wasn't getting enough of masses calm down, whatever. They contract the labor market and it's spilling back into unemployment, thus creating this cycle. And the only ones who remain on it are the elderly, the disabled, and those who are in, they had to have a mental issue, right? So, how do you maintain a livelihood, have a place to live, have food, lights, Lord knows a car, off of $500 a month, $600 a month? How do you do that? Getting a disability or whatever, right? Now what happens is that a lot of them, whatever, right, because they apply for it and they're not approved, they go all these years, and what ends up happening is that when they finally get approved for it, they get like the back pay and then the pay going forward. So they'll get like, in the course of several months, whatever, $5,000-$10,000, whatever, right? Because they're back paying them. But they run through their money so fast, drinking, drugging, partying, whatever, that after everything's said and done, they're still in the same condition that they were in prior to. Now, that's just some information that I have here, right? Because I can't just put all my pearls out there like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this information is only to, enhance those who want to try to do what is right and try to become a better person. That should always be our goal, to become a better person than what we are today. And it's never perfected. It's just an ongoing journey. That's why it says in the Bible, be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. But it also says what? That we all fall short of God's glory, right? Meaning that we can never be God-like because He's perfect. It says be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect, meaning that work on yourself on a daily basis to try to reach a goal that that you really know that you can never reach. But as you reach towards that goal, then the things that trouble you, burden you, you will shake off a lot of those things in your journey if you put forth the honest effort. That's what the Bible is for. That's what the Quran is for. That's what, these conscious people, righteous people, whatever, who developed something for black people here in America when they needed it the most, were attempting to do. So why are you attacking it? Why are you falsifying information? Reggie, why are you going on with Saneter on this, man? Why? He supposed to be a scholar. You talk like how he talk. Oh, the Arabs came into Africa. Come on, man. Who are the Arabs? Simple question. They lived in the Arabian Peninsula. Everybody in the Middle East is not Arabs. Iraqis are not Arabs. Iranians are not Arabs. People from Turkey are not Arabs. People from Syria are not Arabs. Arabs live in the Arabian Peninsula. And before the unification of Islam and these people into a united force and into a united country, they were just a bunch of different groups living in the desert, living in these cities, whatever that they built throughout the desert. And they were an admixture of people. Brown, dark, light, whatever. Because you had so many people that came in and took over. You had what? The Greeks, the Roman Empire. They were there. And that's why, the nation came and said, hey man, there's not one place that the black man is not touched. Not one place that he hasn't lived or settled in. He's been everywhere. But when you sit there, you talk some, well, the Africans in the continent of Africa and Saudi Arabia, the Arabian Peninsula is right across the water from Ethiopia and Sudan. It's like driving from Virginia to New York. You trying to think that all black people were just limited to the continent of what they call Africa? And that we didn't have uh, settlements in these different parts of the Middle East or Asia Minor as they call it, the Fertile Crescent and the Sinai Peninsula. I'm sorry, the Arabian Peninsula, Libya. They're an admixture of people. They try to make us think that, hey, Northern Africa is different from what they call Sub-Saharan Africa. Like there's a divide there. These are games, man. You know. Family, do your research. See who it is that actually went into Northern Africa and what they did and what ethnic group they belonged to. Because the Arabs or whatever didn't hold power that long regarding these Islamic empires. Yes, they started riding out and going into different places of Africa, Persia and things of that nature. But the Persians, the Sassanids, hey man, they want no joke. You know, they had a stronghold in that area. You know, yeah man, black people always be having a rough deal, man, dealing with these other groups and stuff like that. You know, and then they try to go and get all these different hadiths and, you know what I'm saying, you don't know, because there's thousands of hadiths. And what Muslims say in the community, whatever, is like you got strong hadiths, you got weak hadiths, meaning that there are hadiths out there, whatever, that can't necessarily be authenticated. That's why one of the best ones they say is Bukhari. But as a Muslim, right, I go to the Quran. The Quran said this is the book, and it is guided sure. They don't say nothing about the Hadith. Hadith is a later invention after the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the accumulation of the Quran. Bukhari was a Persian who went around to these different, you know, masjids and mosques and talked to all these authorities, whatever, and put the collection of these writings together over a time period. So you can't. So, and if you read something in the Hadith that sounds suspect, you have to go to the Quran and see if the Quran validates that. If the Quran does not validate that, then that is non-cipher. That is not correct. Because as a Muslim, the Quran is our book. Now you have many Muslims, whatever, they're focusing, quote, more of the Hadith than the Quran. The Quran is the book. That is the source. But you have to have later writings, later, you know, codified laws, whatever, to deal with progression of man. Because the Quran tells you, you know, the right, wrongs, whatever, and hold people accountable, but don't tell you how to deal with a traffic violation or a car accident. You know, the Hadith is where we, you know what I'm saying, learn how to pray. You know, but the most important thing, whatever, is that you pray, that you make salat. That's what the Quran says. You know, but you know, Saneter, House of Consciousness, Moore's World TV, and Inky, and you know, Dr. Ali, who has a Muslim name, but he talking about, you know, he's trying to rewrite Islam or whatever. Come on, man, stop it. It is what it is. It's not a history book. Now, it contains elements of history based off of biblical narratives regarding figures who lived during some time in history. But it's not a history book. And a lot of history books have fiction in it. You know, we were taught what? George Washington chopped down a cherry tree and told the truth. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that was fiction. That was not true. We thought it was true because they said, "What? That's how honest he was." Come on, man. You know, if you gonna do the work, do the work, man. You know, there've been a lot of powerful African Muslims in history. What are y'all talking about? What is your purpose? What is your goal? Y'all looking real tainted over there. You doing a disservice and a disrespect to where my foundation started. I came out of that into Islam. And I left all the other stuff alone. Because Islam is the way. Islam encompasses everything. And people debate, nah, don't, and they have all these little lexicons and you know, historical terms, whatever. Islam means submit. That would mean submit. You know. Now terminology came during the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. You know what I'm saying? You know, but submit means submit. You know what I'm saying? Nothing less, nothing more. You know. And the context is to believe in all the scriptures, revealed to all the prophets. And just don't say it, Muhammad in the Quran. It says to believe in all the scriptures and to study the scriptures as they are meant to be studied. Yeah, the Bible's questionable because the Bible is a later creation. Because you can't find the word Bible in the Bible. You know, you can't see where it says to be a Christian during the time of Christ. After the fact. You know. He said, hey, I have sheep not of this fold. You know what I'm saying? He was not against us, it's for us. Come on, man. Well, no, he was a practicing Jew, not Jew. I'm sorry, no, Israelite, Hebrew. You know, he didn't eat pork. And he prayed. He prostrated. Prostration was taken out later on by the church. It was necessary. The prophets before him